From the onset of World War I, it was soon realized that aerial reconnaissance was going to be an important role in the observation and examination of enemy troop movements in and around the battlefield. Military tacticians understood and realized the unique advantage that aerial reconnaissance gave them. One of the first developments was the use of tethered balloons. Possibly inspired by the use of balloons in the US Civil War, the balloons had one flaw in that they could be easily shot down by other aircraft or anti-aircraft fire. Following developments made by the Wright brothers and Louis Blériot in the field of heavier-than-air powered aircraft, 2C observation aircraft were utilized. Constructed of wood and lacquered canvas, the aircraft had a pilot and an observer who used a camera either taking photographs or film of the battlegrounds below them. These aircraft faced both ground fire and fire from opposing aircraft, oftentimes the observationist becoming a defensive gunner. Early methods of attaching machine guns were used, but oftentimes proved more harmful than they were worth. Roland Garros created deflector plates which bounced bullets from his machine gun off the propeller, preventing damage to his own aircraft. This concept was improved and perfected upon by a Dutchman by the name of Anthony Fokker. He called it the interrupter gear. It was fitted to the Fokker E-1 monoplane. This made it the first ever true fighter aircraft. With the E-1 or Eindecker's introduction, the period known as the Fokker Scourge began. The French responded with the Nieuport 11, whereas the British responded with the 2C FE-2B and the single-seat Airco DH-2. The beginning of the Fokker Scourge was characterized by a large number of German victories, whereas by the end of it, a large number of French victories. Following the end of the Fokker Scourge, the Germans introduced a new aircraft, the Albatros. Using a monocoque construction and a powerful Mercedes inline engine, it had signs of what was to come in the future. By this time, the use of air power in World War I had fully been realized, with large squadrons on both sides using the best airplanes and utilizing the best airmen that they had. New tactics and new combat maneuvers were being crafted daily, along with a new term coined ACE, given to a pilot who received 5 or more kills while in combat. Some of the most famous aces included Albert Ball, Oswald Bullock, René Fonck, Billy Bishop, and of course, Manfred von Richthofen, otherwise known as the Red Baron. As the war wore on, more advanced aerodynamics came about. The Sopwith triplane inspired the Fokker DR-1. The addition of the third wing increased lift and maneuverability and became a favorite of the Red Baron, Manfred von Richthofen. A common combatant to the DR-1 was the Sopwith Camel. Powered by a rotary engine, the Camel was nimble but also difficult to fly and could enter a spin rather quickly if the pilot was inexperienced. One of the last groups to join was the United States. Flying in the 94th Air Squadron, Eddie Rickenbacker became one of the most successful aces of the war. By the end of the war, the Allies had near complete control of the air. The Germans, however, had one last vestige in the Fokker D-7. However, it was not produced in large enough numbers to become successful.